When I first heard of Hogwarts Legacy, I was honestly kind of really interested in it, and I'm not even the biggest Harry Potter fan. I have read some of the books, watched all of the movies, but I'm more of a Lord of the Rings guy. But even so, I thought the magical world of Harry Potter very much could make for a really good open world RPG. Then when you look at the developer who was making it, they had their hands in many of those Disney Infinity games. Look, I actually really enjoyed those games. They were fun, and it was a cool way to sort of honor that rich history there, and they got even better when they added in Marvel and especially Star Wars. That classic Star Wars campaign was just a blast to play through. The selling of the different figures was scummy, but the game was just good. But anyway, relating to Hogwarts, I have now finally got the opportunity to try this one out. And as more of a casual fan of the source material, this is a really fun game. Before I go any further, I want to thank 2Game for providing me with a code as a means to cover this title for you. Currently, they are running a Christmas sale, and Hogwarts is one of the many games on that sale. I will leave a link and coupon code in the pinned comment and description. If you're interested in growing your PC collection, use the link and coupon code. Both go to help out the channel a lot. Thank you, and now back to the video. I know this part might sound a bit silly, but this game, at least in its early hours that I have played so far, is that it just kind of feels magical. What I mean by this is that we have a big budget game. It is one of those situations where I understand a bit. While this game received universal love from its fan base, it feels like a labor of love for the source material and world too. And I find myself getting all swept up into this, and I'm not even the biggest Harry Potter fan. And even so, I'm impressed with how it presents itself. The game has this unique visual style with the use of a bunch of the magic. It all feels organic, and at times it's just very visually appealing. It's like the developers really thought out how this would all work. Now sure, there is a nice mixture of taking some stuff from the films also, and I'm assuming that it's also taking a lot from the novels that it's adapting from. This was an aspect that I really loved while playing it. Taking it all in, all the different magical aspects to it, where even the changing of one's clothes just looks cool. And seeing this type of creativity in its visual style tells me that the developers actually really cared about what they were doing. To Hogwarts' credit, it has a really good introduction to its game. Its story plops you right in the middle of it. Yes, you are hit with tutorial type stuff, but the stuff is done in a manner where I didn't feel like I was experiencing a slow tutorial before I could really get to anything interesting. Story-wise, it starts right off, with some really good intrigue and excitement. You're asking a lot of questions and want to know those answers right there. Then we get a chance to catch our breath for a bit, and learn some of the basics of the game. With my brief time with the combat, I really like how it operates with this sort of combo of needing to lock onto your target, and then this flow-like design in defending yourself. I honestly didn't know what to expect for the combat in this game, and here I found this to be a pleasant surprise. I feel like a less talented developer would have just turned Hogwarts into a shooter, and used the spells as such, but here it's much different. It's good and it works. There's hidden chests to find and more secrets to find as you explore too. Again, it feels like I'm walking through the door to this fantasy world, and here it feels like a lot of effort was put into really selling this experience, and I commend them for that.
I cannot open it. Whatever magic protects this is powerful indeed.
It looks like goblin metal. That symbol. What's that glow? I don't see a glow.
Nor do I. Merlin's beard. How did you...
Wait! We do not know.
The next part of this video is going to be more so related to the game, like something surrounding it, rather than the game itself. But something I just saw as an observer while seeing the reception from this title. It was a bit nuts and kinda silly. So I think generally players were like, oh, a company is making a Harry Potter game. It's going to be an open world action RPG of some kind, cool concept, that sounds great. Honestly, as someone who's not even the biggest fan of the films, like I said earlier, I'm more of a Lord of the Rings guy, I felt like something like this kind of world would make for a great video game on this scale. But then I started seeing some of the hate and annoyances, oddly enough, coming from the progressive groups. These are the same people always saying that hate comes from the right, and yet the progressives are always the ones that will write you off because you happen to disagree with them on one point. On the other hand, if you talk to someone more right-leaning, you can find that one thing in common, and then they're usually like, hey, come on in, sit down, let's have a chat and have a meal together. Why am I bringing all of this up? Well, this is what they try to do with J.K. Rowling. From what I have seen is that many of the loud progressives on social media especially voice how they love the work she made with Harry Potter, but hate her. More specifically, they hate that she believes that men are men and women are women, and you can't change that. That's a pretty normal view. Honestly, I think it's the only thing that me and Rowling agree politically on, but because she does go against the progressive agenda in one way, those hive mind individuals want to write her off. They want to detach her from her art. They don't want her involved in it anymore. But hey, I got news for you, crazies. She's the reason that you have that fictional set of stories you love so much. She is why we have games based on these that are good. It's honestly impressive, her story, how she was able to pull herself up and write these novels, and now she is wildly successful. But I bring this up because we saw all the same nonsense that some gamers tried to throw at Rowling because of this game. I honestly think that is the reason that Hogwarts, if I remember correctly, was never nominated or never won any awards at the Game Awards, yet it was a wildly successful, high-selling, and widely liked game. And to that end, it also shows that the Game Awards is a bunch of baloney anyway, that doesn't even know how to respect their own industry too. What's even better is that many of the people that do not like Rowling, because of her stance on men and women, can't even really point out why they don't like her. They go along with the narrative to them, but they don't really think it through or have their own opinion on it. Because if they actually looked into Rowling, they would see that she's pretty much on their side for most stuff. I believe she has even given money to those trans groups too. I bring this up to highlight how nuts and crazy these people are, and that it's absolutely insane to remove Rowling from her work in any capacity. She came up with Harry Potter, wrote a bunch of successful books, and the crazy people should not be able to deperson her. So there, you made me defend Rowling, someone who I disagree with on most things, but can see how ridiculous this whole situation was. Now more specifically relating back to the game, Hogwarts, at least right now, very early on, presents a game that I just want to spend a lot of time with. It's high production values and most importantly high amounts of fun. I have no idea if there's any in-your-face agenda nonsense. I haven't really seen anything yet. There might be some stuff that you could kind of consider a little bit here and there with the character creator, but unlike Dragon Age the Veilguard, this stuff is really not in your face, so again, it gets a pass, it's fine. And if other stuff sort of crosses my path as I play the game, and I'll see how invasive it is, because this right now feels like a game that's really focused on just selling its world to you. It's the type of game that I wish that came out when I was younger, with less responsibilities so that I could just spend an entire afternoon just playing this game. I always bring this stuff up, but you need to nail your introduction for your title. Here, they just do a great job at the start. They make the entire thing look so easy, but you know a lot of effort and talent was put into actually executing this well. This is something I think I will go back to, possibly after I complete some of my other commitments first. But as of right now, while I am late to the party on this, it has my attention and I'm on board. Now, could Warner Brothers do something like this for the Lord of the Rings license? I know we had the Mordor games, but we need more quality Lord of the Rings titles too, especially ones that actually have the license from the films, and the license to use that music. Another highlight here for Hogwarts is that I heard some of that John Williams themes here. And again, I want to thank 2Game for providing me with a code so that I could share this title with all of you. If you're interested in some PC games, please check out the description and pinned comment for the affiliate link and coupon code. Have you played Hogwarts Legacy? If you have, what are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.